What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia, get this. Attorney moves for Ryan Garcia, disqualification win for Devin Haney. Devin Haney has requested that the New York State Athletic Commission disqualify Ryan Garcia following his April 20th majority decision triumph in a bout later stained by Garcia's positive test for a banned substance. Okay, Haney's attorney Pat English is in an 8-page letter to the commission's top 2 directors. Its chief medical officer and lead attorney offered precedent for the move and detailed why his request is justified. And he said, "There is a blemish on Mr. Haney's record," English wrote in the letter. "He was placed in an unsafe fight under the New York State Athletic Commission's jurisdiction. The bout was made a mockery, and in addition to the PED use and prohibited use of IVs after the bout, Mr. Garcia admitted that missing weight was a tactic to give him an unfair advantage. As there was no second-day weigh-in required by the commission, thus it is impossible to know what he weighed on the night. This is why, after setting forth the facts below, we requested that Mr. Garcia be disqualified, which is more fitting than a no contest in this situation." Let me counterpunch. The excess weight. Okay, a lot of people talked about that. That don't hold a candle to the PED use, but that was the first thing that was mentioned. The overweight, him coming in and overweight. He was not surprised or anything. He did not try. He came in intentionally 3 pounds or 3 pounds plus overweight. Ryan did look big. Ryan's now talking about fighting Errol Spence at 154. What does that mean? That means that Ryan Garcia had no intention of fighting for the belt anyway. He just wanted to beat up Haney. If he wanted to beat Haney, why wouldn't he have a mindset to cheat? I mean, a lot of people saying, well, because I hear what people say about Ryan and, well, hey, why would you take something that last day? I think the whole thing is, if he took a big dose of Ostarine right before it, he could always argue, well, I didn't test positive these other days, but you had that amount of stuff in your system. How do you know it won't benefit you from taking a big dose of it, 6 times the amount that's required or allowed? How do you know it won't help him? Because the extra weight already helped him. He didn't want to win that belt because he knew he wasn't going to make weight to get that belt. Okay, and since we know that, well, why wouldn't he cheat? You know what I mean? Okay, ask yourself this question with that. Ryan Garcia, in the whole grand scheme of things, what's the punishment? 6 months. Ooh, 6 months. So May, June, July, August, September, October. So this man can fight in November. You can cheat. You can come in overweight. You can have IVs and all this. They don't know how much you weighed. You can do all this you want to and say, I didn't do it, Christ is Lord and no weapon formed against me shall prosper. But you can still cheat it. And you had motive to cheat. You wanted to beat a guy that you fought 3 times or 6 times and he's beat you 3 and you've beat him 3. You wanted to be the big man on campus. You wanted to be the guy that grown and did all this. And I really didn't see that with Ryan. The thing you saw with Ryan, he looked big. He acted stupid. You know what I mean? He was just sporadic. He was all over the place. And he was like, oh, you guys thought I was crazy. They don't mean you're not still crazy, but you have motive, and then it's it's not a harsh enough punishment for you to think about doing it or not doing it. 6 months ain't shit. That ain't really nothing to a prize fighter. He could still fight again this year and still cheat. He could always say, I didn't cheat. Why would he say I did cheat? Why? So people can talk about him forever? Nobody, let's just face it and be realistic about life. Okay? Nobody will admit to stuff like that. Nobody. Unless he's probably retired and all that, and at that time he doesn't care. But he's 25, 26 years old. He ain't going to admit that he did that. You know? So them asking for this to be disqualified, if I'm Devin Haney, I would be doing the same shit. Because only Ryan knows and God knows if he intentionally put anything in his body. That's the end. That's it. It doesn't matter. You can hire all the lawyers. You can do all this. You can do all that. If you intentionally. Now, here's my thing. I would hate it for Ryan if he really did know. I would hate it for him because there's no way of knowing. So him saying, I'll prove without a shadow of doubt that I didn't know. Well, how the hell you going to prove that? You know what I mean? You got to have one hell of a Johnny Cochran-like lawyer to prove that. You know what I mean? But that's not, and that will never, ever stop people from criticizing you or speculating, or questioning your morality on, I think he did cheat. You know what I mean? Because you already came in and you already, deceivingly came in overweight. Now, if it was a lifetime ban or if it was half his fight purse and he had to give half that shit to Devin Haney, he might have thought twice about that. And the question would be, would he have still tested positive? And, who knew? Who knows? But I think fighters would know more or would think about doing stuff more if they knew the punishment fit the crime, because he beat the living hell out of Devin Haney. Now, here's the kicker, though. That shit might have happened anyway. It might not have happened. But the point is, we'll never know. Because if Ryan Garcia intentionally meant to cheat, intentionally meant to come in overweight, he intentionally meant to have an advantage, what do you know to the degree he would go to have more advantages over Devin Haney? That's the question you ask yourself. You guys tell me what you think about Devin Haney's attorney wanting to disqualify Ryan for beating the hell out of Haney with PEDs in his system. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunched. Peace!